Hi guys and dolls, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you and let's get to it. Okay, so let's talk about what it was like going to a July 4th party with a narcissist. This was years and years ago, but I'm going to remember as many details as I can because it was a nightmare. All right, it was a freaking nightmare. Uh, so went with this person. I was seeing this person at the time. I feel naked without earrings. Although sometimes I don't care, but right now I feel naked. So went with his mom, this person individual I was seeing, and his mother. We went to the party. This particular couple has the party every year like clockwork. All the young folks are there, like 20s and up, because there's free alcohol. So I'm sure there's plenty of minors there. That's, young folks don't normally want to hang with their parents and their parents' friends. Okay. So, but they bring their friends who bring their friends. And before you know it, it's this massive party that happens every year, July 4th. It was my first time going. Sometimes it gets way out of line. As in people are drinking and then they get naked in the pool and they're fooling around in the pool. How far it goes, I don't know. I don't want to know. Okay. None of my Kool-Aid. So we went. And there's plenty of food, plenty of drink. The couple's really nice. There's football, or no, there's, I don't, what do you call this? Volleyball. I think there's horseshoes. Don't quote me, but there's like different activities. There's the swimming pool, which is a fairly decent size. And there's seating around the pool, and there's plenty to drink and eat, so you can get your little drink on, get your little food on, and hang out at the pool or whatever it is that you want to do, play games or whatnot. One girl got overheated because she had been drinking her butt off and she's in the extreme sun and she almost passed out. And this was early in the day. It wasn't even later in the day where people really pop it off. So what had happened was I didn't know he was a narcissist at the time. I didn't know. But I knew that the longer I knew him, the worse he got. And I learned early on that day that I need to stay as far away from him as humanly possible. So that's what I did. And there were tons and tons and tons of people there. And so I was a floater. I'd float over here and talk to these people, float over there and talk to them, these people, and, the whole business. And that's what I did all night long. Of course, he would eventually slink over to where I was. And I was really quiet because I knew that anything I say will be held against me in a court of law, in a court of his law. And so you find yourself, and I know a lot of you who have been through narcissistic abuse, and that's what it is. It's abuse. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, you change who you are. You're no longer your lively self. You start to change. You just kind of push down who you are. Push, push, push. And you're quiet now and you don't say anything because anything you say, like I said, will be held against you. So even what you don't say will be held against you. So you're screwed no matter what you do. So anyway, long story short, so I'm floating. He's eventually following me, which I would rather he didn't. And then I noticed, it's really weird, but I noticed that narcissists, the ones that I've known that are men, they prefer to have a bond with other men and they prefer to have a bond with boys. Not like that, people. Not like a pedophile, but a bond as in, you are important to me. But if you're a female, you're a woman, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And that tells me they've got some serious animosity towards their mothers. A lot of them can't stand their mothers. Even if their mothers weren't directly abusive, if their father was abusive and the mother didn't do anything about it, then he develops hatred towards his mother. Anyway, let's move on. So what happened? I asked him, it was hot. Oh my God, it was super hot. You're talking July, right? So it's super, super hot. And I asked him to, come in the pool with me. And he's like, no, I'm all right. But when his stepdaughter's son, he's the right gender, I'm not. When he asked him, he was all for it. Oh yeah, sure, let's do it. And I'm just looking at him like, okay. Yeah. So there was an incident. There were just little snarky comments, little snarky behaviors. I wouldn't make eye contact with him. I was detaching from him because I just felt like something was not quite right with him. And so like I said, I would avoid. So at one point, this individual, don't know of a name to call him. Anyway, he had LASIK surgery at some point many years ago. For him, not everybody, but for him, one of the side effects was if he's in the sun directly or indirectly, he will get the vessels in his eyes will get red. So he wears shades if he's directly in the sun. So he didn't have his shades on, and his son was there, who's like in his 20s. Well, his son was intoxicated. Normally, he's a very nice person. He will give to the, take from the rich and give to the poor. He'll go on. I could see him being a missionary one day, going to other countries and helping the poor that way also. But when he got drunk, the real him came out. Because alcohol reveals who you really are, okay? So what happened was I said to individual, I said, let's call him Narc. I said to Narc, you need to have your shades on. Your eyes are getting red. And his son, who has never snapped on me, let me repeat that. He has never snapped on me, ever. He was a perfect gentleman, took us out to eat before and everything, would not accept money. He was like, no, I got this. All of a sudden, he's under the influence and he's just something else. And I said, you need to have your shades on. And he said, can I talk to my father alone, please? I said, excuse me? I want to talk to my dad alone. And Narc sat there like I'm not going to say a word because I love drama anyway. That's what he needed to be saying. They need drama like we need oxygen. Let me repeat that. They need drama like we need oxygen. Okay? So I walked away, threw my hands up in the air, said, F it, and walked away. And my face is pretty angry. When I have certain emotions, you will see it in my face. It's hard for me to hide it because I'm not a fake person. Like a lot of people, I'm not fake. So I went back in the house. There's lots of people in there having a good time. The people throwing the party are in the house. And he saw that my face was angry. And that is the only reason he told his son to apologize to me. Because he didn't want to risk, it's a married couple that throws these parties. He doesn't want to risk them saying, what's the matter? Are you okay? What's wrong? He don't want to risk that. Because I'm going to tell the truth. His son was being an asshole to me, disrespectful, and he sat there like a lump on a log and didn't do a thing. So, yes, I'm going to spill the beans. He don't want the beans spilled. No. He don't want the real him known in public. So he told his son to apologize. Now, when it all popped off, he didn't say a word. That's another downside of dealing with somebody who has kids with somebody else. That's baggage. The kids are not baggage, but there's a lot of baggage with that scenario. Okay? A lot of drama with that scenario. 9 times out of 10, I don't care what that person's kid did to you. They're going to defend their kid. I've been through that shit before too. It's just a piece of work. Anyway, so he made his son apologize to me. And his son was hugging me and he said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. So the day progresses on and I'm continuing to avoid. I'm in self-protect mode. And he made comments here and there and I just let them just kick to the wayside because I'm going to have a good time in spite of you is what's going to happen. I'm going to have a good time regardless of you. So I don't remember all the little snitty things he said. I know he was worried about his son because his son's mouth was on full blast, and he was afraid that he was going to flip off to the wrong person and get his ass knocked the fuck out. So he was keeping an eye on him the whole night, which I'm sure he secretly wanted drama to pop off because that's what they need. Remember, I told you they need drama like we need oxygen to breathe. They need the drama. They have to have it. I'm just telling you. They have to have that. Regardless of acting like, oh, I really don't like this. But they love it. They love it. Wouldn't have it any other way. So the final straw was after dealing with his snarkiness and the little thing with his son. And, I don't know. It was just a very uncomfortable thing being around him. So then the final straw was, I guess the straw that broke the camel's back was all of us were sitting by a fire, and the fire is good for bugs and whatnot, get rid of the bugs and what have you. People are drinking. I'm not drinking. I don't drink alcohol. To me, it doesn't taste good. So there's that. All my friends drink. I don't. However, I've had alcohol before. I don't like it. So anyway, we're having a great time. Well, that's not going to work for Narky. That's not going to work. So the night starts to eventually wind down. And he pulls me to the side. Let's just say the guy that all of us were having a great conversation. Me and him were having a great conversation. Let's just call him Dave. He pulls me to the side. Narc pulls me to the side and says, why were you and Dave talking about me behind my back? What? I'm looking at him like he's crazy. Well, of course he's crazy. He's a narc. I said, what are you talking about? Well, I'm just trying to figure out why you were talking about me behind my back. I wasn't. Yeah, you were. When you're in a situation like that, I'm starting to think that the best thing to do would be to disengage. Don't feed fuel to the fire. So one of the things that I like to say when I'm tired of people and I'm trying to explain to you how it went down, or this is the best way to do it, or whatever it is, and you just acted like you just try to take a mountain, make a mountain out of a molehill, or you flat out refuse to do it the easy way. That's another thing narcs do. They want to do it the hardest way possible. The most difficult, confusing, roundabout way, that's the way they want to do it. They don't want to do the shortcut and get the job done, and maybe even get the job done better. No. I want to do it the hardest way possible. They're just, oh my God, they're so off. So I just got to the point where I said, first, I think what I did was, I don't know what the hell you talking about, because I've been dealing with his shit all day. The just being in his presence was awkward as hell, because you know that he's got his fishing pole in the water and he cannot wait to get a bite of drama, and he's going to create it. If it's not there, I'm going to create it. Like people will say stuff like, me, you, and my mom went to the party. I'm just using this as an example. And you gave my mom said you gave her a dirty look. Did that happen? Of course not. Unless it happened. But in a narc's mind, it happened. In reality, it did not. So I think I just said, I don't know what the hell you talking about. And I turned and walked away from him. Now, what I was tempted to do that I didn't do because it would have fed more drama, which would have given him even more of a boner. I could have easily went to Dave and said to Dave right in front of Narc, was I talking about this one to you behind his back? He'd be like, no? Thank you. And then turn around and walk away. The reason that's a bad idea is because now the narc is pissed. Not that I give a shit, because I don't. Now the narc is mad because you took their psychosis and brought it to the public eye. That's not something they want to deal with at all. Okay? They want to keep their psychosis secret. So you made it public, so that makes them mad, which is great because they love to be mad. And now somebody knows that this person is just like left field, and they will always remember that. So every time they see this person, in the back of their mind, they're going to be like, hey, yeah, good to see you again. And in the back of their mind, they're going to be like, this fool right here is schizophrenic. You start to think everybody's talking about you behind your back. Something's wrong with you. And you're not that important, son. You're not really that important, is what you really want to say. But it was awkward as hell. It was awkward as hell. Like I said, you start to suppress who you are. You start to not laugh anymore, not really make jokes. You don't want to say or do anything because that person's going to go to the crazy page. And now we're going to have the drama that they've always wanted. And you don't want to do that. So sometimes what you could do is ignore them when they start doing those I don't know what you would call it. Those verbal pokes. You talked about me behind my back. You did this. You said that. I saw you roll your eyes when this happened or that happened. These verbal, because they have to have a reaction. So they're going to keep going until they get it, right? So you can disengage completely. What I like to do when I'm trying to get through to somebody and what I'm saying is going in one ear and out the other, in one ear and out the other, what I like to do is go, okay. Oh, you got nothing else to say? No, I don't. Because I've already said what I had to say and you're just not paying any attention to me. So do what you want to do, boo. And I disengage. When I say okay like that, okay. That means you're on your own. You're on your own. So if you get yourself in a serious crisis because you didn't listen, that's your problem. Because I told you ahead of time that this is the road you were taking and you ignored me and went down that road anyway. You got bit on your behind and now you're like, uh-oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because you put yourself in that situation. You're stupid. So you can say, okay. Or you could say, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. And they're going to keep, what do you mean? That's how I feel. That's what happened. And you could just sit there calmly and say, okay. That's, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry that's your interpretation of what didn't happen. That's fine. They're going to get really, really frustrated because you're not feeding into it. You're not keeping it going. You're not defending. You're not crying. You're not getting overly emotional. You're just like, okay, I'm disengaging. That's fine. And you leave it alone. It's called gray rock. Let me repeat that. It's called gray rock. You don't get emotional. You just let them go into whatever atmosphere they want to go into. I like to say it's kind of like their emotional weirdness and spazzy behavior. I like to say it's a merry-go-round. So now we're at the crazy page. Okay. Give it some time and we'll eventually come back to the fake normal. It's not real normal. It's fake. But hey, just sit and wait for the merry-go-round to come back around. And you have to reevaluate. Do you really want to deal with this the rest of your life? I don't care if this person is your spouse, the father of your children, the mother of your children, the love of your life since you were in high school. I don't really care who they are. If they are going to make your life a miserable hell, a hellish nightmare, why do you want to deal with that? Why do you want to deal with that? And a lot of people feel like, well, I don't want to deal with it because I'm alone. Baby, you are alone anyway. This person doesn't care about you. Even if you don't live together, you're not married, you're not engaged, you're not living together, you could still be in a situation where you're going to be alone anyway, no matter what you go through. So let's say you're supposed to go see your partner on Friday. Well, you can't because Wednesday you had a really bad car accident and now, I don't know, your leg's broken because I've been on that page and boy, does it suck. Anyway, the healing is almost worse than the injury itself, which is the case 99.9% of the time. But anyway, you can't because your leg is broken and you're going to be in the hospital. You can't make it to their house on Friday. Their reaction is going to be, oh, great, so I have to cook dinner by myself. Did you even buy groceries? In other words, you having a car accident and breaking your leg or your arm or whatever, that's inconvenient for me. Can you do things like that on your own time? Because that's messing with what I'm trying to do. You think they're going to come to the hospital and see you? If they do, they're going to raise hell when they get there. They're going to smile in front of the nurses and doctors. Hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah, this is what's going on. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Okay. Okay, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. And they're going to go in there and they're going to be really hateful and really nasty to you when the doctors and nurses and med techs and all them, they're not around. They're going to make your life a living hell. Look at what you've done. How did you even have an accident in the first place? My God, you're dumb. Nobody has car accidents. What did you do? Look at you. You look ridiculous. What were you doing? You're alone anyway. Do you understand that? So you don't want to be alone, but you're with the devil instead. Mm. What? You don't want to be alone, but you're with the devil instead. So guess what? You are alone. You're dealing with this whole thing by yourself. You're dealing with the death of one of your parents by your damn self. You're dealing with you didn't get the promotion on the job and you're devastated because you've been busting your chops, you've been putting in overtime, you've been doing this, that, and the other, and you didn't get it, and you're devastated. You will be on your own. Okay? Then there's this thing called, oh, I wish I had a fan. It's warm. Super warm. It's like winter this morning, and now it's spring the same day. Welcome to Missouri, honey. They always look for a reason to bitch and complain. Your life has nothing to do with theirs. You don't want to be alone, but you are alone. You are. I used to help deliver babies back in the day. I've seen the mother in labor, intense pain. You know what the father's doing? I didn't see this a lot, thank goodness. He's sitting there. This is my manicure set, right? He's sitting here pretending this is the newspaper. She's in a lot of pain. She's making noises because she's in a lot of pain. Here's him. Reading the paper. Because your pain is a pain in my behind. Your pain is getting on my nerves. I have to hear you bitching and moaning because you're in pain. It can't be. And I've read this before. Where the insensitive, I don't think he was a narc, I think he was just ignorant. He said, the husband said, it can't be that bad, can it? You must want to die. Y'all can't even handle the common cold. Anyway, we're not going to go there. Back to the topic. So you are alone. You are alone. You're occupying space with someone who's useless. They don't care about you. Your devastation and your tears are irrelevant to them. Your agony, your pain is irrelevant. Your health is irrelevant. They will do deliberate things like, oops, I forgot your medication. They're not going to say anything to you. You're going to have to mention it. Did you get my meds on the way from work? Did you pick up my medication? No, I forgot. They didn't forget. If they're a narc, they didn't forget. They did that on purpose because that is something that you need. So I'm deliberately not going to get it because I'm an asshole. And I love the drama. So when you go off on me, I can't believe you didn't get that. And then now the pharmacy's closed. And but when you're so inconsiderate, they love that. They may get angry. They may have rage attacks. They may vehemently defend themselves. But deep inside, they love it. Because they need the drama to survive. Remember I told you that? They have to have drama. There's a narcissist on YouTube called Mental Healness. Healness. He's a self-aware narcissist. He's been in strong psychotherapy for 4 years. He said, you can look it up when you get a chance. He said, I think the title of it is Why Do Narcissists Self-Sabotage? One of the reasons they self-sabotage, according to him, is because of boredom. They cannot handle boredom. They're a child in an adult body. They are a toddler in an adult body. That's why they have the little whining. That's the reason they do the whining. That's the reason they have temper tantrums. That's the reason they resort to being a victim and the whole world is against them and they're just the best person that was ever created. I don't understand why nobody likes me. Just really juvenile. But they because they're a child, mentally they're a child, They cannot handle their life going well because they need the drama. I also made a comment on his video in response to that, out of boredom. I think I hear Milo. I don't know if I can hear him or not. Anyway, that's my puppy. He's an Ossador. For those who don't know, he's an Australian Shepherd and Labrador mix. And he's almost 10 weeks, going to be 10 weeks or something. Hell, I can't remember. Anyway, I thought I heard him crying. Anyways, I also believe, yes, it's boredom. That makes sense because they have a child mentality. But also, I do believe that they believe that they don't deserve any better. I think that they don't deserve any better. So when life goes well, I really don't deserve for it to go well. So I'm going to yank the rug from underneath my relationship that's going very well. Like what I went through when I went to the lake with this other individual. He deliberately did not hang out at the lake because he knew that was something that was a passion of mine. He knew that was something that was very important to me. We were getting along great. He can't have that. No, 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 no. No. We have to have some drama. I have to have screaming and yelling and drama, 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 drama. That's how they operate. You're not going to change their mind. You're not going to make them realize the error of their ways. You're not going to bring logic to them. They don't comprehend logic. Their brain does not work like our brains do. Their brains don't work like ours. So you're not going to give them an epiphany. Oh, I snapped on you when we were having a great day? I didn't realize I did that. You're not going to get that response. And if you do, it's phony, it's fake. I'm just telling you. Don't be terrified to be alone, because if you don't want to be alone with you, why does somebody else want to be alone with you? Let me repeat that. If you can't handle your own company by yourself, why would somebody else want to be around you? You can't handle you. Think about that. You can't handle being around your own self. Why would somebody else want to be around you? Anyway, that's another topic. That's a self-esteem issue. Big time. A lack of self-love. Which is another reason we continue to put up with this crap. We also hope that when it's good, when they're finally behaving like a normal person, it don't last long. It don't last long. We're thinking maybe you did get a clue and maybe now we could just move on with our life and act like we got some damn sense. And that's not reality. We're always, remember, it's a merry-go-round? Yes, we're being nice and everything's getting along great now. But the merry-go-round's coming back around and we're going back into crazy town. It's a continual merry-go-round that never stops. And instead of going this way, it goes around this way. Merry-go-round. The opposite of a Ferris wheel. It goes around and around and around. And it'll come back to being nice. And it'll come back to being hateful and manipulative and a pathological liar. All of that's coming back around. So don't let that goodness and the smiles and the roses and, oh my God, you're the best thing in the world. I love you so very much. I wish you knew how much I love you. Intense, passionate, fake love making. It's all fake because it's all designed to manipulate. Anybody could push their hips, doing, doing, doing. Anybody could do that. Any dummy could do that. It's when there's real emotions and real love that makes it a beautiful thing. Real love and real emotions. Narcs are incapable of that. Come on. They will go through the motions, but any dummy could go through the motions. I think this part goes into this part, so what I'm going to do is put them together. Come on, any dummy could do that. Any dummy can paint this picture of, we're the epitome of what true love looks like. You see my face, right? All of that is fake. You see a lot of glitz and glamour in the beginning. You see lots of kindness, lots of low-key, mellow behavior, mellow personality. I don't get fazed by nothing. And then you will see things turn. The tide will turn. But yeah, July 4th was a nightmare. His attitude was all over the map. It was like an EKG machine. Doink, 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 doink. So you're not going to have a good time. And when you're sitting with other people having a good time, Narky is going to come over and make sure that they are sitting right next to you because they're looking and listening for something that you do or say that they can use to smack you in the head with later. You're not going to have a good time. You're not going to have a good time. Okay? And if you do, you're going to pay for it later. Okay? They think that they're masters of manipulation, but they are manipulators and they are rattlesnakes. And so watch your back and get rid of this person. Don't be afraid to get rid of them. Do not be afraid to get rid of them because you don't have them anyway. You have a loser, a dead person, a person with no soul, no compassion, no empathy. They're dead in here, dead person. You are seeing a dead person. You are married to a dead person. You are engaged to a dead person. You get that? You are with a dead person. Get rid of them. That ain't cute. Nobody goes to the cemetery and reads somebody's tombstone and goes, "Oh, you sound like a hottie. Maybe we can go out sometime. If you ever come back to Earth, wherever you're at, if you come back, here's my number." Nobody wants to date a dead person. And in some cases, a rageful, psychotic dead person. You don't want that. Don't be terrified to dump them because you don't have them in the first place. Remember I told you that? You don't have them anyway. You have someone who's trying to destroy you. Okay? It's never going to be the love of your life and one day we're gonna stop fighting and things are gonna get so much better. No, those moments are designed to keep you pulled into the situation. So when it goes bad, your brain doesn't want to focus on the bad, it wants to focus on when it was good. That's what keeps you in it. Days, weeks, months, years, more years, more years, more years. 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids now. Come on. And having kids, let me tell you a secret. Having kids doesn't repair a narky relationship. It puts more pressure. Number one, it puts more pressure on the relationship and causes more drama, which is great for the narc and it's not good for you. Also, those children have to obey them. Narcs have a obsession with controlling other people. When they have children, they're in control of them. Stop popping kids out. You know what birth control is. You know what birth control is. Come on now. You make a phone call. I'd like to make an appointment to see Dr. So-and-so. Okay, have you been here before? No. Okay, well, come early so you can fill out the form. And then you get your ass in the car, you go to the doctor's office, and you sit down and you talk to them about, I'd like to get on some reliable birth control. Because the narcissist will use children to keep you trapped in the relationship. That is ammunition that they use against you. So if you're that desperate to be loved, get rid of the narcissist and get you a dog like I did. Dogs can love. People can't. Some people can. But the world we live in now, it's not a good situation on either gender or for either gender. Especially if you're dealing with a dead person. And that's what a narcissist is, a dead person. They get their emotions by copying us. They copy our body language. They copy what we say. They copy our facial expressions, the way you express with your eyes, voice inflections. They copy every single bit of that so they can mimic being a human being. And they're a dead person. And like I said, in some cases, a rageful dead person. You got to have enough love for yourself to know that you deserve more than that. Let me say that again. You have to have enough love for yourself to know that you deserve more than that. Think about that. And if you're in a horrible situation with the narc, and if you're with the narc, you're locked up in jail with no, parole, and you didn't do the crime. You're going to have to cut the ties. You're going to have to cut the ties. And if you have to rely on your friends and your family to help you make that decision, that's what you have to do, because they can see the forest for the trees. They can see what's going on right here. You can't, because your brain is getting screwed on a regular. You're in light what is it? Fight or flight mode every day. So you can't see nothing except covering your ass and making sure you keep every day fairly neutral, which isn't going to work, but you could try. That's a 24-hour job that never stops. Your friends and family can help you say, girl or dude, let me tell you, this is when I knew this person was abusive. This is when I knew this person, when they did this or said that. I knew in the beginning, before y'all got together, that this was a bad person. They can see things that you can't see. I'm telling you. So if you need to rely on them to keep your head straight while you make an escape route to get away from this person, that's what you do. You get rid of your pride and you get rid of them, and you rely on your friends. If you have to cry in their arms because you're devastated, that's what you do. That's what you do. Okay? I love you guys. Take care, and see you next time. All right.